In this section, we will learn what are variables and how to declare them. As variables belong to a certain type, we will also be looking at numbers, string, and Boolean types. Variables are references to a space in memory. These references are associated with an arbitrary name. We use variables to hold values and operate with them. There's two ways to define variables. On the first one, we do it like this: var age int. This means var indicates the variable declaration. Age is the name we assign to that variable, which presumably means that we're going to store some age. And third, the type. Int refers to integer. So what we're doing here is we're saying we want to declare a variable called age, which is going to be storing integer values. The second way to do it is a much shorter version of the same, and you have to write it like this: age colon equal and some number, let's say 0, because we're initializing the variables. So the compiler will say 0 is a number, so it should be the same type as before, which is int. Now we have many types. The core language defines three main types: numbers, strings, and booleans. So we have different types of numbers. We have integer numbers, which are the natural numbers from 0 to very big number. We also have floats, which is numbers with decimals. Let's define an integer. You will do it like this, right? X colon equals 10. If we want to define a float number, we will do it like this: y colon equals 5.3. Even if those variables look pretty similar, they are not. So if I want to add x plus y, we have invalid operation because the types are different. So int can be added with a float. Something very important to note here is that values can change. X can be 10, and then I can do x equals to 12. But types can't. Another type is string, which we saw in the previous section. So if I want to do name equals to John, name will be of type string. This is the same as doing var name type string equals to John. A difference between these two notations is that this can be defined at the package level, which is outside any function, and this notation with the colon equal can just be defined inside functions. The last type I want to show you is the Boolean type, which can have just two values, true or false. So let's say I want to define a Boolean variable. I will do var v bool. We're gonna go into more details with this type on the control structure sections. So regarding variable, that's all. Remember, there's two ways to write it down: long version and the short version, and they are pretty useful for passing values to define functions. Functions is going to be explained in the next chapters.